Spencer Rattler looks like he's made some growth since last season. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Nick Underhill, New Orleans Football. I will tell you this right now. I have been smashing the refresh button on my computer. Smashing it on the New Orleans Football page because I was so excited to sit back and listen to Nicholas talk about what he saw at OTAs. Because as you know, New Orleans Football is there on the sidelines. Which, ladies and gentlemen, I don't, this is just me speaking to you from the heart. You want minute to minute, all the updates, all the reports, everything. You better get on over to New Orleans Football, support the boys. I've said it once and I'll say it again. I think they are giving the blueprint of how beat reporting will be in the future. So make sure you're going over there, supporting the boys if you want that kind of minute to minute recaps of OTAs. Now, let's go ahead and listen to Nicholas, and I will react along the way, huh?
So yesterday we saw our first look of the Saints quarterback battle, and this is a story that's going to define the whole entire season. Every time we come out of one of these practices, it's going to be to give you an update on Tyler Shough and Spencer Rattler. And yesterday, it was a reminder that Spencer Rattler is here to compete.
Who could have guessed? Who could have guessed, ladies and gentlemen? I've been saying it. I've been saying it for weeks. Everybody got wrapped up in the Tyler Shough stuff. Okay? Everybody got wrapped up. And when Tyler Shough got drafted, a lot of people said, well, this is done. This is done and dusted. Tyler Shough's the quarterback. He's the franchise. I love him. He went to Drago's, whatever. And I said, well, hold on a second. ladies and gentlemen. A lot of the stuff that I'm hearing about why people are glazing Tyler Shough, you could kind of say the same stuff about Spencer Rattler, right? Tyler Shough's got all this experience, all this stuff. I don't really care about Oregon or Texas Tech. Spencer Rattler is actually playing in the NFL, right? So I knew coming into this that this was going to be a good old-fashioned ladder match. A good old-fashioned 60-minute Ironman match like we're at WrestleMania 12. Okay? And lo and behold, here we are.
It's here to make this interesting, and just because Tyler Shough was taken early in the second round, that doesn't necessarily mean that this thing is just going to be handed over to him and that's going to be a done deal. And that has been kind of the thought that has driven all the narratives so far going into this. But man, Spencer Rattler looked really, really good yesterday.
Sometimes I even surprise myself. Now let me moonwalk backwards a little bit here. As you all know, I'm not rooting for Spencer Rattler. I'm not rooting for Tyler Shough. I'm totally indifferent. I'm fair and balanced, okay? May the best man win. But I do like the fact that this is a competition. I do like the fact that Rattler is pushing Shough. Shough is pushing Rattler. It's a good old-fashioned sumo match on Airline Drive. All right? So whoever comes out of it, if Shough comes out of this as the starter, I'll be even more impressed with Tyler Shough. Because, and man, what a masterclass. What a masterclass by Kellen Moore and Mickey Loomis, everybody who put this together. Because they could have said, you know what, let's go get no-name, suck-boy vet quarterback who's not really there to compete, but he's just there. And let's just have Tyler Shough compete with this no-name, suck-boy vet. And then we'll end up giving it to Tyler Shough. But no, they said, you know what, let's take the risk. Let's take the risk and get these two young hombres in there and see what happens. I'm thrilled. I really am. I mean, it's just because if Tyler Shough thwarts this onslaught from Spencer Rattler, that means Tyler Shough is pretty damn good. And if Spencer Rattler is good enough to overtake Tyler Shough, a guy that this staff just drafted 40th overall, that means Spencer Rattler is pretty damn good. So as a Saints fan, you should, I've had this comment a few times. They're saying, James, is it bad that I'm rooting for blank or I'm rooting for blank or whatever? As a Saints fan, you got it easy. Kick back, watch this play out. It's interesting. It's fun to talk about. It's fun to read about. Watch it, kick back, and then as long as one of them wins, as long as one of them comes out of this is like, okay, yep, he's the starter, then we're set. We're good. I mean, it's almost like in Madden or something. If you did a bunch of trades and you drafted Cam Ward and whoever, and you're like, I'm just going to play in both, and then whoever like better is going to rock and roll. You know, it's basically that, where you're taking two guys who are pretty much the exact same, rotating, going from this start to this start. You get this preseason game, you get this preseason game, determining who you think has the higher rating, and then just rocking and rolling. It is a risk-free tryout, pretty much, of who's going to be the next Saints franchise quarterback. Unbelievable.
He completed all 8 of his passes. Shough was 7 for 8. But the way Spencer hit his 8 passes was just a little bit different. It was sharper. It was more on time. There was good pace to everything. There was good rhythm to everything. And he hit some throws with a high degree of difficulty. There was a pass to Olave over the middle between 2 defenders. He hit Michael Jacobson on a skinny post up the seam in a tight window. And
that damn Ozempic post.
He just looked to be in total command of the offense. And those 2 throws were so good that I just forgot about one to Dante Pettis up the sideline over a defender. That was a really nice throw too. He just reminded us that this is a guy that had a ton of potential last year. He showed us some stuff in games, just the whole game wasn't ever able to quite come together in his 6 starts, but there were moments within it inside of a just really terrible, disastrous situation that he was able to make some stuff work. And that 1 year of experience should be giving him a head start. So I don't want to get too...
That part's true. Now, I 100% agree. He probably should be hitting the ground running and doing what he's doing now. The question is this just the fact that he's got that experience and so he's got a little bit of a head start, or is this like him taking a legitimate step? Is this Spencer Rattler taking a step forward and developing, and he put the work in or whatever? On the other side of it, you have to wonder, okay, is Tyler Shough a little bit behind because he's a rookie and he's been on the team for 2 weeks? Or, you know, is he a little further? Is he not as far along in this process as we thought? Tyler Shough will have every chance to make up the ground. Like, this is that you absolutely should not be saying, okay, that's it. I've seen enough. Spencer Rattler's the starter. And you absolutely shouldn't be like, okay, that's it. Tyler Shough's a bust, or vice versa, or whatever. If the next practice Tyler Shough is 10 for 10 and Spencer Rattler's 8 for 9, it's not like, oh, never mind. Tear down that Spencer Rattler statue. Keep building that Tyler Shough statue. You know, this benefits Saints fans more than anything. So don't get yourself wrapped up and don't get lost in the sauce. The only way you can get lost in the sauce is if you're constantly trying to be on the right side. There aren't any sides. They're both New Orleans Saints quarterbacks. You are on the right side if you're a New Orleans Saints fan. So it's not like trying to determine who should I be rooting for, who's better, what should I do, what should I believe. You don't have to worry about that. Let it all take care of itself and just roll with the team. Roll with Kellen Moore.
Too far over the skis here.
Roll with me.
And he should look better than the guy only participating in what would have been his 4th practice with an NFL team in an organized sense. So it's going to take some time for Shough. And I thought
think about how many times Spencer Rattler has thrown a pass to Dante Pettis, right? He's thrown that pass in actual NFL games. He's thrown it in practice. He's traveled with this guy. He has shared meals with these guys. Like, there's so much more to it than meets the eye, right? Like, Tyler Shough, this is the first time he's throwing to him. That stuff takes time to even itself out.
Still look pretty good. You saw the arm. You saw traits that make him stand out. You saw why the Saints drafted him, but you also saw a guy that was just very early on in his tenure, is still picking things up, is still figuring out the offense, is still figuring out his way around an NFL locker room and a meeting room and a building, and being a professional football player for the first time in his life. And by the time...
Think about going to work. Think about the first time you get a job or the first day at a new job. Your first 2 weeks, 3 weeks, month, 2 month is about meeting the people around you. Where's the bathroom? Where's the break room? What are people wearing? How do they act? Like, who's who? Putting names to faces. You can't even really get into your job. You can't even really show what you can do until all that's settled. All right. Now make that even harder. right? Which is what Tyler Shough's going through. He's figuring out a city. He's figuring out teammates, and he hasn't even met all of his teammates. You know, he's figuring out a playbook. He's meeting Kellen. Like, all that's happening. So the human element of this gets lost in sports all the time. I mean, even when it comes to like travel and when it comes to stuff like that, like that is so much more of a factor than people give it credit for. And so, again, like Tyler Shough's being asked, hey man, go on the Steamboat Natchez. We're doing a rookie crawfish video. Spencer Rattler's not asked to do that. So Spencer Rattler's still, you know, doing what he's doing. He doesn't have to worry about all that stuff. Shough's having to do this. He's having to go here. Like, all that's brand new to him. He's probably, you know, a deer in the headlights. It's just, so give Shough some grace as much as we are applauding Spencer Rattler.
Training camp comes around, these guys usually look a lot different, but I think his starting spot is still pretty encouraging. But again, the main takeaway coming out of here is, man, Spencer Rattler is here to fight, and I'm excited to see it. I think it's going to be really, really interesting. I think it's going to be something to monitor, and I think it's going to be more of a story than really what a lot of us thought it was going to be when Shough got taken with the 40th pick. Now, I still think the betting odds are on the guy taking 40th because everything that you are doing is geared toward wanting him to win that job. But I think they're going to run an honest competition here, and I think Spencer Rattler has something to say about that. And I think he's going to try really, really hard to make sure he's heard. I think he's going to state his case every single chance he gets. And I think this is going to be a really good battle all throughout.
Oh, I'll let him finish.
The summer. I'm excited to watch it. It's rejuvenating. I don't know if it's going to lead to wins or results, but man, watching two young guys go at it every single day in practice, it was fun yesterday, and I think it's going to be fun all throughout the summer.
So I have heard this as well. I've heard, like, from people, reporters or whatever, but there was that the energy was just different. And the energy at practice was a completely different thing. You've got this hyper intense competition. You've got Kellen Moore and a whole new staff doing things their way, and they're trying to be really efficient. They're trying to do this, and they're different vision, different culture, different whatever. Will that lead to 10 wins, 9 wins, 11 wins, 8 wins, 7 wins, 6 wins? Who the hell knows, and who the hell cares? You know, like, we're building something here. And there's no doubt about it. The bones, the foundation, all of that is positive. Wins and the results, that'll take care of itself in due time. But I'm not even at practice, and I'm getting fired up just hearing about it. And just, I mean, like, I just got goosebumps. Is it because of my 9 cups of coffee? Am I having am I having a heart attack? Who knows? But I have goosebumps right now thinking about this. And it's just so different than what we've seen. So, and yeah, I'm not surprised at all that Spencer Rattler came out here and he's trying to win this job. I've talked about this at length. Spencer Rattler is a one of one kind of guy. He is a 1% of the 1% when you are winning the Elite 11 competitions, when you are the number 1 prospect coming out of high school, when you are the starting quarterback at Oklahoma under Lincoln Riley, when you are the favorite to win the Heisman, when you are the favorite to be the first overall pick. Like, that is a whole different level of guy, a whole different level of dude. And those dudes do not lay down. Those dudes do not say, yeah, I'll be second fiddle. It's just not in their DNA. You don't, like, I know I keep saying it, and it doesn't sound like that big of a deal, but imagine going to the Elite 11 camp, and you're a high school kid, and you're surrounded with, like, the 10 or 11 other best quarterbacks in the country. It would be really easy to take a backseat to that group and to say, damn, that's blank from blank, and he's a 5-star, and he's going to wherever. He's the man. And especially Spencer Rattler, who's 6 feet tall. It's like, damn, that dude's 6'5", 6'6", rocket arm, whatever. It takes a special hombre to walk into that camp, walk into those rooms and say, you know what? I'm the best here. Nope, you know what? I'm the top dog here. And to win that competition. So, not surprised at all. Ladies and gentlemen, get on down in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.